person as the president of the country. Then I've got so many questions to ask you, Mr. President. I'm struggling to actually call him a president. But yeah, he's out here. Literally, we all know why, because he is on the side of Kuda Tagwirei. He feels like he can be the leader in Zimbabwe. Hoodwinking people is what Mnangagwa is good at. But anyway, we are 20 steps ahead. The people are ready to fight for their freedom. So, Mr. President, we'll dig more into that issue a little bit later on. Come through, guys. We need to have a very serious chat. Chiwenga on the other side. Mnangagwa was desperate to rope him in, playing the games, hopefully that he can also support Kuda Tagwirei. It's interesting. But I still stand by my views that I do not think Mnangagwa actually wants Kuda Tagwirei to be the president. I think he's just using him as a front so that he can propel his son. You know, you have seen that Mnangagwa was moving around with Sean. Yes, okay, you know what I mean by that. Anyway, shout out to the boys. The boys got it right. The rugby boys, shout out to you. Oh my God, I am super proud of you guys. Super proud. I have a feeling that we are now very close to the freedom that we want, because things are just turning, okay? They're turning for our good. I've always said good and bad will always work out for those who love the Lord. Anyway, you are welcome, everybody. I can see you in your numbers. All right, thank you for coming through. Don't forget to thumbs up the video. Okay, I've seen some people already respected the culture here, but I want to say to those that have just come across this channel for the first time, please do yourself a favor and subscribe. You do not want to miss anything that we discuss, because we are getting closer and closer. Days, weeks, months, only God knows, but we are getting closer to the freedom. You guys, can't you read the mood? You can't read the mood. Shout out to you. Happy Monday to everyone. It's a beautiful Monday. I love you guys. Come through. All right, change is on the horizon. We can't give up now. We're getting closer. But there's a pandemic. Not always. There's a pandemic in Zimbabwe that we need to deal with. So talking about the boys who got it right, the rugby boys. Okay, I actually saw some people proposing there. I was like, wow, shout out to you and congratulations. Rubarashe thinks that corruption aside, a lot of great things have been happening in Zimbabwe. Our agriculture sector is steadily recovering, and the sports industry is making a strong comeback too. Zimbabwe truly has the potential to thrive if only we could break free from the shackles of corruption. I think we all agree. Fazema is asking what's up with the sports minister, and now it's referring to the general, that's General Sanyatwe. Guys, Sanyatu always going to be a general. He's actually not a sports minister. All these are just stupid shenanigans. He's a general. He's a military guy. You know, sometimes know where you belong to. You know what I mean? You need to know your place. All right, now I've told that Mnangagwa has been pushing a narrative that presidential post really is being deserved by someone who's young. Okay, he thinks someone who is young should be the president. Interesting to hear that, but I want you to take a listen to him speaking. Okay, he thinks someone young should be the president of Zimbabwe. All right, that's a very good, interesting, suggestion there. But I've got so many questions to ask Emerson Mnangagwa. Okay, I have so many. Take a listen, please.
After me, I would wish that this country finds a president who's young.
After me.
We mustn't repeat having people of my age. I think we need younger people to lead this country. After me, I would wish that this country finds a president who's young. We mustn't repeat having people of my age. I think we need younger people to lead this country.
All right, so I agree with Emerson Mnangagwa. Zimbabwe needs someone who is younger. But the issue is that bothers me is that for the past, I don't know, maybe two elections, right? Chamisa won elections, but Mnangagwa kept on roping himself there. He didn't know that we needed someone younger. You know, what a selfish guy. You know, it's because he knows that he has done his part. Now trying to sabotage others, he's coming through with all this narrative that we need someone young. Young, I agree. I think we need to have a certain year being the cut-off. I mean, in our constitution, that you should never be a president after a certain age. Because honestly, we went through the nonsense with Mugabe. Now Mnangagwa, we deserve a break. Zimbabweans, we deserve to build our country. Because things are not looking good. they're definitely not looking good. Let me look at the reactions on social media. Mazwange Ndava said, if this is true, I'll cut off my ears. Unbelievable. Not in this lifetime. Things that Mnangagwa, but it's him. You heard him. It's him. There's no AI. He said, after me, which means he knows what he's talking about. Ziva said, we all see that. And Unbelievable say he has a ZANU youth on his mind. Chiwenga dis, okay, that someone said that one of his children is Ruezo. Thinks that that's what he's referring to. Timeless, he's talking of Tagwirei, who will hand over to one of his sons. This man is a problem. And Dex said, as young as his son, that's what he means. Unfortunately, he's just setting the pace for Tagwirei, his preferred right-hand man. And Mujganeva Anakat, he's talking of Kubata Tagwirei. We all see that there's an interesting fight that's going on in ZANU-PF. And I think the war veterans have been very clear of where they stand. And on the other side, he's trying, I think he's just trying to sabotage Chiwenga, because Chiwenga against his son. One thing that I've watched and observed, not only because of presidential ambitions, but I've seen it even in the church, okay? And people don't read small little fine lines, you know? Most guys in the church will talk about the church belong to the people, okay? But then when they are brought close to retirement, you see them start training their children. Not those that have been working with him. There are some people who may have been committed to the church, young, are qualified to actually take over the reins. But you always see the pastor start training his children. How many people have watched that lately? Mnangagwa has been moving with his sons. Did you guys watch that? Moving with everything is a joke. It's just a game. I don't think Kuda Tagwirei want to be the president. I think Mnangagwa is just eyeing on replacing himself with his own child. 2030 was to push for the age. Sean has been very close to Mnangagwa, serious though. And I'm looking at him, I'm like, young boy, you're too young. Okay, you're too young to intimidate us. You guys don't deserve to be in that position because you failed as your family, and every criminal around you should all be sent to prison. So you cannot even come here and try to think you can be a leader. It doesn't cut. You are not the ones that we need. Guys, can you just imagine? Let me know in the comment section. Wake up tomorrow and Dave Sean is the president. Considering the father's track record, the family's greedy, selfishness, and then wake up with someone very close to him, you just know that you are literally multiplying the characteristics of Mnangagwa. So we don't want anyone, and I repeat, we do not want anyone, whether from Mnangagwa's family or actually the criminals that surround him. We don't want them because we know that we'll be heading for worse than where we are today. They have no leadership, capabilities at all. Because if they had, we wouldn't be in this mess that we are in today. They could have said, sir, can't you see things are not looking good here? Can we change them? No, that is not going to work. Definitely not. Anyway, we need to look at what's going on with the issue of Tagwirei and Chiwenga. I also want to tell you guys, there's a lot that's going on in South Africa. For those that have been following, you can't separate South Africa and Zimbabwe. For me, I have no choice. But there's been a lot going on within the political space, but which can show you the origin of Kuda Tagwirei. The origin of Kuda Tagwirei, the origin of Mnangagwa's nonsense did not start today. Started before 1980. Okay, then it came to 1980. Then it was worse with Robert Mugabe, with the Gukurahuti in 1983, where Mnangagwa's footprints, his hands are all over the place. I guess that's why we can never find a solution. We can never even hear about an apology from him to the developed people. We can't see that. I want to tell you that South Africans are very upset. And for those that have been watching, very, very upset. And I want you to listen to what they are saying as far as Zimbabwe is concerned. They also actually think that if they can carry on with the nonsense of ANC, there's a possibility that South Africa will also wake up tomorrow a bit like Zimbabwe. Take a listen, please.
Go and look at Zimbabwe. I use the case of Zimbabwe because it's not far from us. Sure. When ZANU-PF was busy destroying Zimbabwe, there were people who were saying, people like me were crazy. And say, no, man, you are crazy. ZANU-PF, this and that. Today in Zimbabwe, black people in Zimbabwe live like animals. You know who destroyed that? It's not some white colonialists. It's black people, ZANU-PF. So look at every city. Look at every town. Yeah. Look at every black township that used to be proper.
Rural areas.
Rural areas. Before 90, I was born and raised in the rural areas. Yeah. public hospitals, schools. They have destroyed everything. I mean, today, by the way, the things that work in South Africa, let's be blunt about it. We must not lie.
Yeah.
The things that work in South Africa are the things that are in the private sector run by white people in South Africa. Even the ANC cadres, by the way, they walk around with medical aid cards in their back pockets because when they are sick, they don't want to go to Tembisa Hospital. Velenzile wins the contest to become the mayoral candidate of Johannesburg. I'm going to do something I've never done in my life. I am going to publicly endorse her. Did you hear that?
Wow.
This is big.
Yeah.
I am going to do something I have never done in my life.
Yeah.
Publicly, I will endorse Helen Zille to be mayor of Johannesburg with a heavy heart. I mean, the way the ANC has destroyed Johannesburg. Johannesburg used to be the pride of Africa. It's so sad. How can you go without water in Sandton?
Sure. For like a whole week.
I mean, the richest square mile in Africa, you are without water. You know, in South Africa today, Zimbabweans are actually ashamed to say I am from Zimbabwe. Now, if they destroy this country, the ANC will allow them to destroy this country. Where do you think you and I will run? Where? We can't go to Mozambique. Mozambique is a basket case. We can't go to Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe is a basket case. Maybe we can go to Botswana, but Botswana,
yeah.
It's a small space.
Sure.
It's a small space.
Yeah.
If we fired Mkulu, what would we lose as a nation? This chap, by the way, can't take the president to say CCMA. He's not an employee, this guy. He's not a normal employee that if you are fired unfairly and therefore you can go to the CCMA. You can fire this guy, by the way, while he's sleeping.
And there's no standard of beyond a reasonable doubt.
Exactly.
Or anything,
Exactly. You can fire this guy while he's sleeping. So
from the airport.
Yeah, from the airport.
And you know, I completely agree with what he's saying now, because the debate of white people can run spaces better than black people, that one is a fact. Sometimes we don't want to discuss things and be honest with us as black people, but it's a fact. I'm not a racist at all. I'm not a racist, okay? But I just want you to know that if we are not willing to change our ways, to adopt the spirit of excellence, we will live in all this poverty-stricken swage, tripping all over the place because we just don't love ourselves. I was talking one day with my other mama, and she said to me, she went to a hospital in Harare. That must be Milton Hospital. Said, but the place is very clean. Everything's well managed. People are having coffee downstairs. But just go to Parenyatwa, go to Goma Hospital, try other some for public. It's a mess. You know why? Because white people do love themselves. We really don't. Nobody can tell me that the nonsense that's going on in Zimbabwe today, we're actually serious. I always like to use we, because trust me, I am also complicit. I was sitting watching when nonsense was happening, which include everyone who surrounds Mnangagwa, everybody in Zimbabwe. We watched nonsense happening. Okay. And I know some people say, but it's not our fault. There were guns, being channeled away. What could we have done in this country? Listen, brothers and sisters. In the end, we, the Zimbabwean people, played a role to the mess that is in the country. No one came from Congo, okay, or from America to come and cause a mess. The people that are perpetuating nonsense of Mnangagwa are not from Malawi. They are Zimbabweans. Okay, you hear me this? They know what they're doing is wrong, but because they're so selfish that it's all about them and them and them alone, everyone else don't really matter. Now, there was a debate this morning on Twitter. So Lumumba posted a small little clip. He said the craziest criteria I hear young black mothers choosing creche is kune matisha varungu. And the fathers say, kune vana vema minister. Okay, can you hear this? Kune matisha marungere, and the husband is asking, kune vana ma ministers. Am I just going to tell you that I also had the same discussion with my brother, okay, and his wife, when they were looking at the creche for the daughter, I asked the very same question. And when they told me it was like some people, and I was like, no. It doesn't sit well with me because I know exactly how they operate. Okay. And they thought I was crazy until the child began to be sick and sick over and over. And then they came to me. I'm like, but I warned you from the beginning. I said, it's not a good idea to take the child to this creche. And I'll tell you, because I've watched and see what some of our people behave. Once it was people from home, I was like, nope. It's all about the money, but the genuineness of loving the kids, being present, professional, is not there. You see this? Until we accept that we've messed up and we are willing to change, we keep on accusing people for being something that they're not. Zimbabwe, it only needs genuine, authentic, patriotic people, leaders right now who can say, this is not it. Not to bring your family members and liars, deceivers in politics, something unprincipled individuals. You will go nowhere with the country. You will remain in circles, just causing mess. But I love the comment though from Hopo Chingon. I want to read it for you. Hopo said the tragedy is that both are correct. Time has proved that white Zimbabweans are capable administrators and run things well. This is a fact, not an opinion. ZANU-PF chased them from farms. Yet today, they own almost all the well-run downstream farming businesses. Men are even back on the farms, renting them simply because they have constantly demonstrated excellence in management. They open a new restaurant or a pub. We all flock there because we know it is run properly. When we take over, it collapses. Look at the Harare Club. It used to be one of the best gentlemen's clubs, not only in Africa, but the world. Today, it smells like a run-down city council tavern. It is also true that schools attended by cabinet ministers, children tend to perform better. Not because they're inherently superior, but because those ministers use their political power to ensure things function well. Can you hear that? What black people should be asking is why almost everything run by our black-led government ends in dysfunction. Why does a new neighborhood, once occupied by us, soon overflow with grass, litter, and sewage in the streets? These are uncomfortable truths, not opinions. We have not, by and large, proved to be competent, except in the few areas where you will often find a white hand behind the scenes, like the Mnangagwa does. So Mnangagwa's businesses are all being run by white people. You know what? Did you notice that, including the Mikus Hotel, it belongs to Mnangagwa, but he lied that it belongs to someone from Dubai. It's there on record. People say it immediately. It's Mnangagwa who owns the Mikus Hotel. Okay. You see, you can just say I own the hotel, but because you know that your money is all out of corruption, so you can't explain. Anyway, so one of the mentors once took me to meet Sam Levy, the Sam Levy in 2006. He told me that black business people often came to his shop at Sam Levy's village, trade a job, but to gossip about other black people. What is wrong with you people? He asked. Painfully, it was and still is embarrassingly true. Now the tragedy is black Zimbabwean children have been brought up to believe that only things run by white people work. They are sent to white-run schools and white countries where things work. Look at Zimbabwe's cities in Harare. The city is being pillaged, yet not so in Bulawayo, which is run by a white Zimbabwean. Before we took over, Bulawayo was being looted. We have the receipts. We must do better by putting forward our base minds, not those linked to power. He is 150% right. I can only imagine, if you can just put me to be the mayor of Harare, let me be the mayor of Harare. I'm just joking, but I'm just saying, the data I am seeing, I would rather build outside in the rural area than to be in Harare today. And I must just shout out to Kuda, because Kuda decided to go and build his house. He's building Kwagu too. He's building top class. And I love it. Guys, I think God is like, go back to your ancestors. Go back and be closer to your parents that you dumped there in the rural, hoping that you're just leaving their graves and go. No, you need that touch with the ancestors. You need to connect your people. Go back home and build your well-deserved homes. I can see Zimbabweans are doing that, and I'm loving it. I'm seeing it on YouTube. I love it. But we must agree, we have failed Zimbabwe. The Zimbabwean people have failed. Honestly, it's so sad. And my prayer is the person that campus to Mnangagwa era will understand that bringing family at work, okay, remember being a president is worker, is a job. It's not like, it's a job. You don't own the country. Don't bring your families there. Don't rob your families. Don't bring those bootlickers that you see online. The people that are always pushing evil narratives. Don't do it. Bootlickers, family members, toxic people are bad for great leaders. Terrible. I know what I'm talking about. Terrible. You need to be around the capable minds and capable hands, those who are good at stewardship. I'm talking about stewardship, who understand that we can keep this bin so clean, okay? We can keep this thing really clean because we know we need to use it tomorrow. But what we are seeing now is a mess. Do I believe that white people run things better? 150% wherever you go. Sometimes I'm like, if we're the white person in Zimbabwe, I would vote for them. I would really vote for them. And I mean it. Because what you guys have done over the years is shameful. It is shameful. I do not care what you want to say. It is embarrassing. In 2025, you still believe in abducting children, in torturing people. In 2025, with what other countries are? Look at Botswana. With our black brothers, pristine. The day the president won an election, a total different person. We saw the military and the police move immediately to go to the person that had won the election. But in Zimbabwe, you have to fight for position of being a president. It's shameful. I repeat, fighting for the position of being a president. No. Fighting for being a president. Guys, wait, listen. Fighting. It shows that you're not going there for leadership. You have your own intentions that are dirty and filthy. That's why you fight. What would be the reason? Honestly, why would you fight? Because I don't find any reason we should be doing that. But the South Africans can see that they're in trouble. Anyway, Kuda Tagwirei is still fighting. He's fighting. He thinks he needs to fight. I want to read what the Mirror said, because this is quite very interesting for you guys to hear. Okay. So he's fighting for him to still be accepted in ZANU-PF so that he can contend, I think. I don't know what Mnangagwa is trying to do, because all these are Mnangagwa's games. They are Mnangagwa's games. You know, Mnangagwa loves to play with people's destiny. He loves games. For him, it's all a joke. Not leadership, no, games. We're going to just play with people's time. Let me read what the Mirror said. Okay, so ZANU-PF leading financier. Okay, Hans Tagwirei argues case for co-option. He's arguing for the position. But you're saying you're a businessman, successful businessman. What are you fighting for? Are you really fighting? But I'll tell you why he's fighting. So ZANU-PF leading financier and millionaire. That's what they're saying. And again, I have a lot to say about that. Kuda Tagwirei firmly believes that his co-option into the ruling party's central committee is in this era of global capitalization is critical and will not only advantage the party but the nation as well. All right, that's what he thinks. Kuda Tagwirei thinks that. Okay. In except in the hands of Mashingo Mirror, Tagwirei makes a strong case for his co-option, giving models of the Communist Party of China, ANC of South Africa and Rwanda, where similar fusions of business entrepreneurs have helped modernize and transform the ruling parties. He emphasizes that his co-option into the Central Committee is not to replace liberation heroes, but to blend their experience and wisdom with business as Zimbabwe faces the future. Oh, really? I'm just interested in the wording that they used here. First and foremost, you're a criminal. Kuda Tagwirei, you looted money that was supposed to build Zimbabwe. You're a criminal. So don't even talk about entrepreneurship. I don't want to hear that. You are a hardcore criminal. It's on record. You have been stealing from Zimbabweans, hoping that you can use the very same money to give cars to the Zimbabweans. Fools who can be played so that you can get a position. You are acting like you're talking to dunderheads. Zimbabwe is the most smartest people. You have used violence. I can tell you, Zimbabweans, he was behind all the abductions and the tortures that you have seen in the country. Him and all his criminals that he works with. That's why the country is in turmoil. Our people live in fear because of you. And now you think you can come up and say, I'm going to bring entrepreneurship in the country. Excuse me. Bootlicking you? I saw Zimbabweans fighting this past weekend for bicycles. Is that what you're calling leadership? Because you were behind all the shenanigans of Emmerson Mnangagwa for the past 8 years. So don't even try, not on Emmerson Mnangagwa. I literally had a conversation with someone. I said, for Zimbabweans who are not following up, listen, let me tell you what really happened in Zimbabwe. You see the fights that's going on in South Africa right now with the hardcore criminal that has been arrested. I'm going to say allegedly for now because but there are so many evidence around. But because Zimbabwe and South Africa is different. South Africa, they still have a rule of law. They have people that were trying to infiltrate and penetrate and mess up the judiciary, the police, the military. I'm sure the military, because the military of South Africa are not really that much involved in what's going on in the political space. But This is what happened in Zimbabwe. But people in ZANU-PF were so dumb not to see that whatever actions they were tolerating, criminals infiltrated ZANU-PF long time ago. Okay, hear me out. Criminals infiltrated ZANU-PF long time ago. But unfortunately, they were working with some people in ZANU-PF now who end up being in these seats like my presidents. Okay, hear me out. That's exactly what is going on here. But South Africans don't play games. They are putting a stop to the nonsense in Zimbabwe. People in ZANU-PF were so stupid to allow that culture to carry on. Seeing children being abducted, tortured, was to protect the criminals. They thought they were smart because they were getting monies. And I'll tell you why do I say that. I can see it. Kuda Tagwirei did not start today. These guys were very close to Mugabe during his reign, to Mugabe's wife, to be specific, because he's the one that loved the man a lot, Grace. Because Mugabe wasn't like that. Grace was such a lover of money and things. Okay? Because I can see it. In 2018, no, before 2018, this was the tweet that was sent out by Wikino Chivayo. He said, whoever started this, don't worry. I will be campaigning for my candidate, Comrade Robert Mugabe. Babacha Tunga Mugabe. If you vote for him, you have voted for me. Hear me out, guys. They were clear. Ngwaya Mugabe. People in ZANU-PF, you're not serious. I'm going to just drink some water here. I've never seen fools like that. I've never seen fools, and I repeat, fools who could allow criminals taking over the country. They're watching. Guys, I'm a person, if you're in your house, guys, you see something is missing, and something is missing again, and you're paying attention. It means they didn't care. They were focusing on eating, not the country, to see things are going wild there. What's wrong? There's no water in the country. Can we fix it? There's no electricity. No, these guys were just focusing on stealing. Until criminals took over the state. Look where we are today. Drug pushers, I'm talking about drug lords, drug kingpins are known in town. There's a video that is out here that was done by Aditya Kuda, and a guy confirmed that there's a man called Dama who says in Bari he's supplying cocaine, hardcore drugs to our children. The information is on record. Okay, it's on record. But they will pretend like they are moving around against drug addiction. But they are the ones who are supplying drugs. And you know what happens? Mnangagwa and these people are just watching. And they're calling themselves leaders. And expect me to say, oh no, but we do have leaders in Zimbabwe. Forget it. You have failed and failed the people and the country. That's why sewers are everywhere. Criminals now acting like they're now gods. They're being worshipped. They get security. Because you were not intentional in your leadership. You were just after the things. It's shameful. It's shameful. I saw Dara tweeted that top news that Dara bill leads much against freedom of press and freedom of expression. And I'm referring to the drugs that Dama, the drug dealer, okay? So H Metro is reporting that Simbaranshi Chana Chimwe, aka Boss Dama, leading a police anti-drug and substance abuse campaign in Bari. So the drug dealer, the drug kingpin, is leading a campaign against drugs. And then you want me to sit here and say Mnangagwa is a president. Forget it. I don't care what you're saying. Leadership is already gone. That's why this morning when I saw the reports that are trending right now, where an entire cabinet and the leaders, including Chiwenga, left their homes at 2 a.m. to go and welcome Mnangagwa at the airport. I said 2 a.m. when you're supposed to be close with your wife, they're leaving their homes. All right. They're supposed to be close with their wives to show you that Zimbabwe is dysfunctional. You see with the little things. You see, I said, don't go too far, the little things. That married men and women are leaving their homes, okay, to go and meet a president at 2 a.m. The entire cabinet were at the airport. Every time I see Ramaphosa traveling, I've never seen him. It's only him and his bodyguards get to the airport greeting everybody and be cheering. Guys, are you all good? Is everything okay? I love you. Sometimes you move around with flowers because you are hated by the people. You are afraid, right? If you are a president who is genuinely a leader and you are loved, you can walk freely in Festo Street and be greeted and be getting the shop with your wife freely. I repeat this, I've seen it. But in Zimbabwe, there's always fight because people are sick, mentally deranged, fighting for nothing. Illusion. Mashana Shituta, Mari, we are fighting for what? Nothing, literally, nothing. So drug dealer is campaigning against drugs. It's said, I want to read this tweet because this was quite very important, was sent out by Rex Moody, who said, Seika 2000, okay, I don't know what you pronounce this, it's Sika 2000, Mazibaba Bodagezi, speaking at Emashingo rally, bellowed in his deep baritone voice, Musangano wa paras wanevano vanemari. Hear me out. The time of Bodagezi, who was killed for speaking truth to power. Don't forget, he was killed for speaking truth to power. Okay, what did he mean? A year later, in 2028, April, he died at the age of 36, a young child, on his way back to Mashingo together with his driver, Mr. Muronda Tsimba. A young 36-year-old who was a promising leader. So when somebody comes here and tell me about the ZANU-PF regime, the only thing that I'll tell you is they are so stupid that they were getting rid of stronger players. A good leader, hear me out, Zimbabwe, a good leader, what do? You welcome those that are good at doing the job because you know what? They protect even your incompetence. They protect even your own challenges. I've always said, any leader in Zimbabwe, no matter how much people say the person is incompetent, as long as he's working with capable hands and capable minds, he'll succeed. But we have seen Mnangagwa doing away with everyone strong and now employing those with nothing and pretend to give them fake degrees and fake doctorates. Is that a leader? And what does this supposed to show you? The guy has been playing this chess since the 1980s, Emerson Mnangagwa. Playing people. He's so close to, this guy's been close to Wikino Shivayo a long time ago. It's only now when he's freely to parade him. He doesn't care, okay? Freely so, because the parties on PF have never stand for anything. It's a country, it's a party that does not stand for nothing. It loves criminals. It loves abducting, torturing, arresting innocent citizens. For them, it's a game, not about leadership. Because the leaders focus on execution, executing the service of the people, not hurting the people. Leaders understand that, no, I'm here because I am of the people. And my job and my goal is to build the people. It's said. Now there are allegations, which I'm going to tell you that they are not correct. You know, guys, they are bloggers. I'm not going to mention names because some people think that I'm being hateful. Okay. Because Zimbabweans are not yet mature enough to accept views. They always think that once you mention another blogger, you're trying to destroy them. I don't have that mission, but I have to say, I speak truth to power. Somebody have lied out there and said that Geza was bribed. Okay, guys, Geza was never given cars. The person that was given the cars is out there on record. I'm going to drop the link in the comment section so you guys can actually go and read the article yourself. The person whom is alleged to have received the cars from the regime is actually a war veteran. Hold on for me, please. It's war veteran, man, my bad. Wait a minute. I'm going to get his name very quickly. Yeah? So please bear with me. But he's a war veteran. He has been, Mativela, my bad. Mativela. He has been very much against Mnangagwa. But I guess now because ED is very desperate, whoever is advising Mnangagwa is the most stupid person on earth. When I say stupid, is stupid. Even him, Kuda is an idiot. The guy is so daft. He does not even know what he's talking about. You are stupid. You are like all of you are fools for not accepting stealing. You're fools. And then you want to come and say you want to be a leader. What? It's nonsense. Everything is just nonsense. But anyway, to clear up the air, Geza was never given cars by Mnangagwa. Geza is still very clear on where he stands. Emerson Mnangagwa will be shipped out. That one very soon, just relax. Mnangagwa is going soon, and this is not a joke. Geza did not come to negotiate and play games. He came to make sure Mnangagwa is out of the office. So for those that are moving around and be saying things they're being said, I've heard some of the nonsense some people are being told that I've met them. I don't know, whoever. Guys, I don't know people, for your information. I actually don't care about people who are doing all the... my goal since day one, I was very clear. My goal is to focus on Emerson Mnangagwa and his administration, who aren't capable to lead the country. All the other nonsense I just said shows, I just scroll and I pass. So if you know me since day one, you know my goal is to make sure Emerson Mnangagwa leave that office because he's wasting my time. I want to say I don't know whoever thinks that there's leadership there. In my world, he's not a leader. He's just a waste of time. So, guys, don't listen to lies. Focus, okay? Focus. Geza is not going to be, he's not that kind of person. He's not that kind of person. You have seen him, we have heard him speaking. It's a lie. All those news are fabricated. Try to tarnish his name. You heard this M31 party, and you know who started with the M31. It's just trying to sow discord. So be smart, be sober, be vigilant. The war veterans, progressive war veterans, progressive military, progressive police, they are very clear on where they stand. Mnangagwa will go. He's a waste of time. So focus, Zimbabwe, focus very soon. Anyway, so I've cleared at the air that the issue of the cars, please, it's not Geza. It's Mativela. Mativela is not Geza. Geza and Mativela are two different people. All right, guys, moving on. Some people are talking about, I don't know the people that are busy talking about voting. Like, I'm like, Zimbabweans, are you all right? We talk about voting in 2025, knowing all where this country stands. That is all just nothing but nonsense. But anyway, let me guys listen to Dr. Nkosana Moyo. One of the guys that I think would have been a very good leader. I may not know much about him, but Nkosana Moyo could have been a very good leader if he got the chance to lead Zimbabwe. Honestly. Because he knows what he's talking about. Take a listen, please.
Inform us. It should be a source of knowledge and guidance in terms of we learn from history, we know what to avoid and where we go. We must have learned from what we did between 1980 and now, which we need to change. There is no evidence of it. We seem to continue and make even worse the things that we know caused us a problem. This is not normal. And let me give you another provocative view about Zimbabwe. In the animal kingdom, every species understands that its long-term survival depends on the young. That's why adults will lay down their lives to protect the young, because from a species point of view, your days are numbered already as an adult. So when you protect the young, you assure a longer longevity of the species. I always say, except in Zimbabwe. The exception is Zimbabwe. We have destroyed our future because we failed to conform to this very basic rule. You pay attention to the young in order to assure the future. Because that's who is going to survive and take you as a species into that future. How come here we don't see it that way? Well, I suppose one of these days we'll have to have a conversation with young people.
Yeah.
Because unless we can change the minds of young people, for them to begin to think more long term, not like I want to, yes, you have to feed your family tomorrow, but where do you want your children to be? Do you want your children to be subjected to xenophobia and not be able to say, I can up my bags and go home?
I think
and be proud of a home. But my question is why though? Why can't they see personal glory in a successful country?
Yeah, that's a good question.
When Zimbabwe got independence, our passport was like a wonder document. And you were proud to carry a Zimbabwean passport. Yeah? Now, a lot of people wish they could hide it when they travel. You wish you could say, oh no, I am from some other country. In saying, we've got a government which is presiding over a country that is dysfunctional.
Imagine.
If that government really cares about Zimbabweans, even before any conversation, I want to see the indications in its behavior, that it is seized with activities that would benefit this bigger. So that when they say, guys, we need to sit down and talk, I've got a reference point which tells me these guys are serious. I don't see that.
You know, this is quite very sad, and I agree with Dr. Nkosana Moyo. But again, I've given you the background to say Mnangagwa is behind all the pain that we've gone through in Zimbabwe. If you want to look at what happened during the Gukurahundi time, follow the steps of Emmerson Mnangagwa. For some reason, I don't know why Mugabe kept on propelling him. Because Mugabe should have seen, if I was a genuine leader, would have seen that this guy is poisonous and just say no. But you can't make him a vice president, a man who is so cruel like that. Mnangagwa is cruel. That's why Zimbabwe is a mess today. He's selfish. It's all about him and his children. They do as they please. And the entire Zimbabwe are not human beings. He's a cruel man. And a person who's cruel of the stage of Mnangagwa should never be a leader. Because you cannot expect the blessing to come over a man who is evil. It doesn't work like that. Life is governed by principles, not by friendship and positions. You have to be principled for the blessing of God to reign. Honestly, I don't even understand. Why do you even chase your children? I mean, we used to hear people singing and say that, Zimbabwe. But today you are coming back with this deception. And I'm going to talk about that one in the evening. I'm talking that, no, you guys must not come back to the country. Because you realize that Geze said people must come back. Now you change the song. For how long Chamiso used to say people must come back home? For how long? Now you see that the pressure is on. You want to hoodwink Zimbabwe, playing games with our destiny. No, Mnangagwa must go. Kuda Tagwirei never again in our lifetime. Fathers, don't play games. If Kuda Tagwirei should never be seen anywhere, even to become a councillor. I have been saying to people, a genuine leader in Zimbabwe would make sure that everyone in the administration of Mnangagwa are charged. Everyone in that parliament, this dirty parliament, should be banned to never again be seen in parliament. Zimbabweans, you need to be principled, be have leadership qualities of saying no is a no. Let people know you for standing what's right. Not because Iyama Priscilla she should never be seen anywhere near leadership. None whatsoever. Because let me just say this. I do not care who says, oh no, but it wasn't her fault. Her fault. But you say no. You could have said, no, guys, I can't do this. You can do it yourself. I'm out of here. I remember another judge who left and said, I cannot work in this and be betraying the people. You need to be principled. I cannot even begin to fathom someone say to me, I must take poison and go and kill another person. I will never agree to that. You know, I've been saying to some of the politicians, I said to them, listen, if you think you can enroll me in hot-spotting hatred, forget it. Some family members tried, it did not work. I don't believe in that. Don't bring me toxicity and try to bring negative energy in my life. No. If you want to be hating people, it's on you. I can disagree with people, but they cannot be my enemies. Because I don't expect us to believe and like the same thing. Life is built that way. You really cannot think that whatever you think and whatever you say is what everybody else think or whatever should do. No. So I don't understand that people who have been doing evil, they could be banned for life, never again to be seen anywhere near government positions. Torah Street kid, this nonsense guy, the one that caused a mess in the opposition. What's his name? I forgot his name because I don't really keep nonsense people in my mind. That guy, you know him. And a judge like Mudenda, a judge who flies first class, traveling all over the world. Maybe even I don't know where he stays, but he seems to be staying in those low density suburbs, expensive places, and you don't know how to separate wrong and right. When you're destroying your country, it's shameful. These women are nothing but a shame in 2025. It's disgusting. People who are watching you, they watch you with so much. I was looking for another word to actually tell you how disgusted Zimbabweans are. And one thing that you guys don't even know that I want you to actually know today is that I'm talking about South Africa, which I understand better. Majority of Zimbabweans from the top class, I'm talking about Zimbabweans, some of them are CEOs, some are CFOs, on big companies, Investec, talking about Murray and Roberts, Mazima Discovery, Zimbabweans, South Africa, they are going through hell. When I say hell, I mean hell. Do you remember a Zimbabwean who once wanted to be a mayor of Johannesburg? What happened to him? He was killed. They are going through hell. Most of them are miserable. They want to come back home. I'm talking about the Zimbabweans to show you that because of Mnangagwa and his brutality, they cannot come back home. They would rather work in these companies where they are being mistreated. Just to see you have got a passport called Zimbabwe, it doesn't matter you've got a citizenship, because most of them do have, but it's written Zimbabwe. Okay, just they are going. I talk about what I know, not what I've heard. Okay, these guys are suffering. They are traumatized because of Mnangagwa's leadership and Mugabe. Surely this cannot be the Zimbabwe that we want. Fathers, change your ways. Put a stop to this nonsense here. The military of Zimbabwe, the police, you have got responsibility to bring back our dignity that you have taken. You cannot be exonerated because you have always been protecting evil people. Mugabe, a wicked man. Mnangagwa, wicked man. You have always been protecting them. It is wrong because it's very costly. That's why marriages are collapsing today. How can a man who comes from a work where he's being disrespected come back home and be a good father? It's not easy. You guys have ruined our lives. And you need to stop. Anyway, moving on. Now, the issue of Chiwenga, etc. There's been a lot of drama going on social media because Mnangagwa's faction, the one that Kuda Tagwirei has, they're having something that's going on in Mateveleland. But funny enough, they are roping Chiwenga in there. They are lying that Chiwenga is going to be part of it. And those that are following Chiwenga are fighting. Okay, they are fighting. You know where my prayer is right now? Every time I always say to God, God, my prayer is after Mnangagwa era, is to have an administration of people who are not mad about positions. I repeat, people who are not mad about positions. Guys, the only reason Zimbabwe is stuck, and I repeat, this is both sides of the aisle, the opposition and the ruling party. People are mad about positions. Zimbabweans, if you don't understand, you know, some of you are just talking because you seeing these guys from a distance. But the more you get closer and closer to them, it's like a church. You know, guys, I used to be very active in the church. I love God. I used to be very active until I discovered that the more you get closer to the pastor, the more problems you're going to see and the more it's going to affect your prayer. Okay, your prayer lifestyle. So I stopped. I get in the church in the back, I worship God, I go back home. I don't want to hear nothing to do with leadership. Okay. I'm saying this to show you what's going on in Zimbabwe. The only reason Zimbabwe is stuck is they are fighting for positions. Listen to me, not the people, positions. More than the people. Because if they were genuinely love the country, some of them could have let go. Okay, I'm going to drink water so you understand. I know you guys will never understand, but one day you understand. One day you understand. They are not fighting for the people. They are fighting for positions. They are just using the people as an ammunition to act as if they do not love the people. I'll tell you why I say so. If you genuinely love the people, you'd rather focus on holding the people that are in leadership to account than saying I must be the one who can change the trajectory. Okay, I'll repeat again so that you get me right. Because I know sometimes you don't understand, but one day you will. If you genuinely love the people, our focus in Zimbabwe should have not even about changing the regime. Could have always been about, can we change the way we're doing things now? But I know that sometimes we thought we could have people who can be different. But one thing I later realized is that even those that are trying to be different are worse, or even more like the same people that they're trying to defend. To fight, sorry, my bad, to fight. I stand by my words because I can see it. We need to start discussing about brand Zimbabwe more than discussing about who can be the president. Because it seems not to me, because guys, you can have John, you can have Peter, you can have Mary or Tendai as a president. But the issue is not about who is the president. The issue is our country has to function. Because you may think that the person can come in and be a good president. He may come in and disappoint you, especially when he doesn't want to listen from what people say. He's a dangerous leader. You can't have a person who says, I've got all the answers, no one else knows anything. He's dangerous to leadership. Maybe one day you will understand. We need to start talking about how can we have proper people who are really focusing on the country, not their own personal needs and their own personal ego, because that's why the country is in a mess today. But those that are fighting, they're trying to rob Chiwenga, and it's a lie. It's deception, so that people think that, no, these guys are united. The truth is that Mnangagwa is no longer wanted there. And he knows it. I guess that's why he's just moving around. He knows he's no longer wanted. And we, the Zimbabwean people, we don't want him. We want him gone. Not only do we want him gone, we want the Zimbabwe to change. We also don't even want a lot of people who are in the government today. We want them out as well, because they're just a waste of time. They are not leadership material. They are deceivers. They are incompetent. They are liars. They are just full of nonsense. They are thieves at the same time. We do not want them. But those on the side of Chiwenga are fighting. I'm going to read what Lini said. He said, unpacking the logic bankruptcy in the operative revived 230 gang, which is what Tagwirei is trying to push in Mnangagwa. He said, thieves, I don't like to use the word zigananda. I want thieves. Okay, thieves are very foolish. How can they connive to ambush the whole gigantic general to such a subversive event, which is obnoxious and also undermines government credibility? Ministers can't be invited as guests, yet thieves are the guests of honor. General attending such an insulting event would be undermining himself in the cabinet ministers. Ministers are appointed by the president and are in no way committed to criminals masquerading as advisors. What rank madness is this that defeats the protocol and state hierarchy? General is a trained soldier who understands the state governance structures and would never partake in the desperate moves by some elements who are a threat to a national security. They have grown big for their boots and should know their day of reckoning is fast approaching. And I hear people who are supporting Chiwenga, and I must say this to you, that Chiwenga is under pressure. Will bet Mnangagwa, Chamisa, I don't know, whoever's going to be the president, whoever it is. I don't want to, honestly, it's up to the Zimbabwean people to decide. It's not for me. I'm just saying, I'm not here to propel anybody's presidency, none whatsoever. But I'm just saying, whoever that's going to be the president post Mnangagwa era, it's got a lot of work. It's got, I think that person is in trouble because you are dealing with a broken society. I'm talking about a tattered society, okay? So your responsibility is going to be a lot. I don't know what to say. I hope you're praying. Not only are you praying, I hope you're reading books. I hope you are studying the people. I hope you're working on your character. I just hope you understand the tacit adherent. And I repeat, I just hope you know that it's not just going to be then to be a president. It's work. And not only a lot of work, because the Zimbabwean people are so broken. The country is in a mess. So to bring structures, to change things, is going to require a lot. A lot. And Prince said, don't we have renowned business players from Matavelaland who could be guest speakers? I see my friends Richard Moyo, Mutuli Ngube are just bridesmaids of the event. Continued marginalization, treating Matavelaland as second class is unacceptable. I agree. Because the people that they say are going to be speakers are Mnangagwa's ministers who are already who are just ignorant, and so to speak, incompetent. When I look at these guys, Tagwirei, all of them are just foolish individuals who know absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. There's also Mangali Sondlovu, Mutuli Ngube, Judith Ngube, and then Richard Moore. Some of them I actually don't know them, actually. Because you can be a person with a title, but when you're not even impactful at all, and that's why nobody knows you. Because I genuinely believe that once you get a position in the government, you should be seen by touching lives. You see, it's not only having a title, just getting out of these expensive cars, it's touching lives, impacting destiny, change people's life, please. The fact that we have high rating pregnancy in Zimbabwe shows you that we have no women in leadership. I'm sorry. The fact that we have children drugged, it shows that we have no men in leadership, because once men are in leaders, they know how to protect the territory. You understand this? The fact that we have so high prostitution in the country, where young women are, guys, if you see the pictures I'm seeing on the street, during the day, young girls are stuck in streets selling their bodies. It proves that there's no women in leadership. There are so many things in Zimbabwe that proves over and over again that they are no leaders. They're simply crazy individuals who love position so much, but they cannot impact it. Guys, impacting life doesn't start when you have a title. It starts when you're just a human being on the street. You can be seen changing lives, changing communities. You don't have to have a title to do that. But if you are waiting to be have a position to say, oh, once in that position, I can now touch lives, you're not a leader. Stop lying to the people. You're just a deceiver. You are not a leader. Touch lives now when you're single. I used to hear Hope Watching say that a lot to opposition leaders and say, you guys, we don't see much that you're doing. No, but there are other guys in opposition that are doing great. I've seen that some of them building, some of them are helping school kids with the school fees, etc. They're doing incredible work. But majority are doing nothing, are just waiting for a position so that they can get their chance to steal. They have got family members or people in the area who are struggling. They've got monies stashed in houses, etc. But kids have dropped out of school. They can't even help. But they want to have a position. Zimbabweans, wake up. Leadership is not just about talk. It's not about just having people following you. It's about impacting lives, changing people's lives. Do something. Sometimes it starts from the family as well, okay? Remember Mother Teresa, she once said, if you want to change the world, oh no, go back home and love your family. It starts at home. How do you treat your family members? How do you see them? You can't see everyone as an enemy. You must see them as human beings. You see this? It starts at home. You beat your wife at home, but you want to be a leader. You beat your own wife, right? You see this? Children, I don't even want to say, and you want to be a leader. Nah, it doesn't work like that. Any leader who is capable to lead the people should be seen by how he raises his own family, how he treats his wife, the children, family members. Anyway, tell me what you think in the comment section. We are watching very closely, but you always know that Mnangagwa is going. Don't be fooled. He is leaving. Okay. See you guys later on. I love you. Tell me what you think. Don't forget to thumbs up the video before you leave. Until later on. Bye for now.